right here, this Dog Pound 24/7. Thanks for tuning in to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please go ahead, take that time, hit that subscribe, hit that like, and hit that notification bell. Also, please share my videos. Thanks for tuning in this morning, and have a quick video for you guys. On my way to the doctors, have to get a physical. So I just wanted to make a quick video for you guys. I'm going to tell you a little prison story that took place while I was incarcerated. I was up in a medium in Franklin Correction Facility, way up north of New York State. Before I tell this video, like I've always said, I'm not the person I used to be. I am a changed man. I live an honest life. I'm no angel. I'm not saying that, but I try to live an honest life today, okay? And when I was in prison, you know, there's certain things that you do or have to do to get by. In this situation I'm about to explain, you know, I didn't have to do what I'm about to explain. I didn't have to do it, you know, to get by, but it was, I don't know how to explain it. It was just one of them situations. I didn't like an individual. Not many people did in the dorm. So I'm going to break this down, and, you know, you can leave your comments, and I'll break it down. So, like I said, I was in Franklin. I was down probably about 2 years at this time. As you all know, I used to love to play poker to pass time. That was one of my things to do. All right. I wasn't the greatest in the world, but I was pretty good at it. I will say that. We had an individual come on the dorm about a month prior to this situation, and he was real cocky, arrogant. You know, right from the get-go, he was just off the hook. The dude was just no good. He was like one of them type of individuals. You know, he's always trying to get something over on somebody. He's trying to always get something for free. He was just, you know what I mean? He was like one of them type of dudes. You know, he wasn't even on the dorm 5 minutes, and I had a nasty vibe from this dude. So, anyway, when you play poker in prison, what you use for poker chips is usually a deck of cards, an old deck of cards that you don't use. You tear them up in the, you know, quarters or halves, and those are what we use for poker chips. Well, this individual that was on the dorm, he's really not that good of a poker player. He acts like he is, but this in particular day, he was, you know, doing pretty well. The cards were just not falling my way that day. When it comes to poker, a little bit of it's luck, a little bit of it's experience, you know what I mean? So I was pretty much even at this time, and we've been on the table probably about 3.5, 4 hours at this moment. He had a pretty big come up, and I wanted to crack him, man. I just needed that one hand, you know what I mean? And he just kept hitting and hitting and hitting. By 4 o'clock, it was shift change, so we have to go back to our, you know, cells, our cubes, and then they do count. Well, in my cube, I have my own set of poker chips that I use for, you know, if I'm running the table that day or whatever or whatnot. Well, the deck of cards that I had where I used for poker chips were identical to the chips that we were using that day. So I know I needed more money to crack him, because he's looking at my, you know, my stack of chips and sees that I'm not, you know, he's not intimidated by my chips, you know what I mean? I can go all in, he's going to call me, you know what I'm saying? Every time. But I was scared to do that, because if I go all in, he cracks me, it's over, you know what I'm saying? So I needed a little bit more than what I had. So this was a huge risk that I took. And please, let me warn you, do not do this, because this is very, very, very bad business while you're in prison, okay? If I would have got caught doing this, it would have been a bad situation for myself, okay? You can lose your life over this, and a lot of you are probably saying, well, why in the hell would you chance that? Or it was just one of them situations that I knew even if I got caught, I knew that a majority of the table had my back. All right, and there wasn't a way that I would have got caught, because a lot of the individuals that I play poker with know that I don't get down like that. Little did they know. But there were a couple guys that had money in the pot that I came to their attention that didn't like this guy, and I brought it to their attention. Listen, I told them what I wanted it to do, and they were all for it. They wanted to get the guy off the table. They just didn't like this guy, so I went ahead and did it. I put, probably, a nice little quarter, a nice little stack in my chips, so I just had enough. All right, I can't remember exactly how much it was at the time. So we get back to the table after shift change. I throw my stack of chips on the table. He's clearly looking at them. He doesn't say nothing. He doesn't see, realize it or anything. So I'm good. All right. So when we started playing, I kept losing. I kept losing these hands. I kept having to fold. And it was me and another individual on the table. There was 3 of us. All right. And the other individual that was on the table, the third person, knew what I was doing. All right. And I worked something out with him where I explained to him, listen, man, you lose money on this. I'm gonna break you off. All right. I told him what my plan was: get this dude off the table, to crack him. So once you crack him, he ain't gonna be able to come back on that table that day. So he knew what was going on. I was gonna hit dude off for just, that was like my boy, so it didn't matter. And he was all for it. So we got playing. The cards eventually started to turn where I was, starting to hit on some hands. And finally, I cracked them good. All right. It took probably about 4 or 5 hands for me to get up on them, of winning hands, that is. And finally, the last hand, long story short, because of, the situation that took place, there's a lot of that went into it, but the moral of it is I finally cracked him for everything he had, and he had it. Hold on. What are you doing? Sorry, driving, as you can see. He wasn't happy when I finally cracked him, all right? And he started, coming in with all these excuses, and that's when I started to get nervous, all right? He's like, listen, I know some funny business went on. There's, all this, that, and the third. So the guy that was running the kitty that day, I told him exactly how many chips that I put in that weren't supposed to be in there. So as he was doing the count of the chips, he finagled a way to, take out a majority of the chips that I put in there, so the kitty was even. So, it worked out to my benefit. I usually don't get down like that, but the thing is, this dude was an arrogant prick, couldn't stand him, and this whole thing, that's not the end of it. All right, this dude wanted to take it to another level, started accusing me of fucking cheating, this, that, and the third, which he wasn't wrong, but I've been on that dorm 2.5 years, okay, and listen, when I'm in prison, I'm neutral, okay? I get along with everybody. It don't matter if you're a blood king, anything. It don't matter. I get down with everybody. I'm a neutral person. I'm easy to get along with. So this one king that I was really close with, Teflon, he wasn't having it. He didn't like this dude to begin with. So this argument escalated into the bathroom where we were all smoking at the time, and Teflon just went up to him, blasted dude in the face. All right. End of story. Told him to roll up. You don't roll up, you're going to have issues. So, moral of the story is, dude packed his shit, and that was the last of, we ever seen that guy. But let me tell you, that situation right there, could have cost me a lot. All right. For all you youngsters that haven't been to prison, do not do that, all right? Unless you're definitely going to get away with it. And I don't recommend you doing it anyway, because it's not an honest thing to do. I was wrong for it. But at that time, this dude, I wanted an opportunity to get this dude off the dorm, all right? This guy, he's just, like I said, he was arrogant. He was no good. Everybody thought he was sneak thieving, stuff coming out missing ever since the dude came on the dorm. He was just no good. He was one of them type of dudes. So I didn't feel bad for doing what I did to him in the first place. Because, listen, if you're a good dude, if the guy was a good guy and, you know, he didn't bother nobody, you know, he was just, you know, all right, dude, I wouldn't have done what I did. I that's my word on everything I love. I wouldn't have went and did what I did, but this dude was pissing me off. So, I mean, I'm like, I felt some kind of way. This dude, you know, winning all this money, you know, taking all, you know, the table's money, and this dude, to me, don't even deserve it. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. It's just one of them situations. I was pissed at the time. I was down. I'm losing to this guy, and he ain't that good of a poker player. So I did what I did, and it worked out, and I cracked his head, and he also got his head cracked by my boy, and he packed up, said he couldn't live there no more. And let me tell you, that him rolling up, he went to another dorm. We were on one side, okay? In that prison, there's one side and two sides that run yards, okay? One side will go to the yard, two sides will go to the yards. They'll do everything by, you know, dorms. So this dude went to another dorm. He went to the two side, but he was started telling everybody that he just left that dorm based on job position, because he was getting in with another job at the program committee, and that was his excuse for, you know, leaving that dorm. Well, word got back to that dorm that he rolled up and he was pretty much bitching out, rolling up, got cracked. He didn't even do nothing, and that caused more problems. I heard the dude ended up signing in under somebody's name. See, that was the type of dude he was. So actually worked out. Dude was no good. Signed in under somebody, you know, saying that they were extorting him. And listen, this dude's like 6'2". He was probably like 250. He was a big dude. Who's extorting him? You know what I'm saying? You know, so he was one of that type of dudes. Signed in under somebody's name, and, you know, got somebody else wrapped up in some bullshit because the dude's a, you know, a chump. So that was what happened. Never seen the dude again. But I thought I'd share that story with you. Please leave your comments. I'm probably going to get some bad comments behind it, but it is what it is. Sometimes you do things in prison that you naturally wouldn't do. I'm sure a lot of you can relate, you know, and understand my situation at the time, because, you know, it was just one of them things, you know what I'm saying? So, but youngsters, please do not do this, all right? If you're going to prison, don't get caught doing anything like that, because I'm warning you. I almost don't even want to share this video or give anybody ideas of doing this, because it can cost you your life. It can cost you to get in a fight. It can cost just a verbal argument. It can cost, you know, cost you a lot of different things, you know, doing this type of stuff. So let me tell you, do not put yourself in that situation, and, you know, unless. But I'm going to close with that. I'm at my doctor's, got to run and get this physical. Everybody, I hope you guys are having a good day. You know, your boy is, you know, doing well, man. It's the holidays, and I hope everybody's staying, you know, free, safe, and corona free. You know the deal. But if you haven't, please hit that subscribe, hit that like, and hit that notification bell. And also share these videos. All right? Everybody stay free, safe, and corona free. See ya!